Alright guys, so back to the Jaguar, and hoping we can get more of this top done. I really wanted to do more than what I had done on it, but I'm happy I stopped because that video ended up causing me quite the issue with my computer and everything else. It did not want to work. I tried, finally got it to work, but I also ended up uploading it late because it took so much to try to get it to process and to upload and transfer, and then my phone is messing up, so the video didn't even want to save to my phone. It was a little bit of a mess. So we're back to this guy anyway, and I don't know what color, what number I'm interested in. I'm gonna see if I can kind of put you guys off to the side, but still able to see, because there we go. Alright, so I'm gonna do 8. I think number 8's looking nice. Sorry for the loud clap. I was closing my glasses case. Yeah, we'll do 8. Which is this nice green color. And again, and some of these tools might still need the glue in them changed out. I don't think I changed out many of them, just like a 3-placer or something. So if I have to pause for that, I have to pause for that. Okay. So, not a crazy eventful day or anything. Everything's been about normal. Did some grocery shopping, and oh boy, did the pup hate me leaving him. Her. Sorry, why did I say him? The pup hated me leaving her. It's the first time I've had to leave her since I got her, and she threw a fit the whole time I was gone. I could not believe she threw a fit that long. I figured she'd tire out and go back to sleep, but no, she threw a tantrum. She was not having it. And then I get home and she's like, I'm not letting you out of my sight again. You're gonna disappear. So no matter where you go, I'm following you. And I mean, like, she already is the type that follows you everywhere, but it was obvious that she was being a little more intent on following you. So yeah, I don't think she was very happy with me leaving. So I gotta work on that with her, because while I do want her to follow me everywhere, and I don't want her to get anxiety issues from me being gone. So I don't want to distance myself and, tell her she needs to be on her own, but I don't want to make her think she absolutely needs to be with me either. So I gotta figure out how I want to do that with her. I mean, my old girl did have separation anxiety, and that's no fun. So I really would like leaving to be normal. I mean, part of that is going to be to leave, even if I don't have to leave her alone for a little bit, and then show her that I do come back. So I gotta make it a point to actually leave her sometimes, just to kind of let her get to see that I will be coming back and that I'm not disappearing forever. because I think that was the reason my my other one had separation anxiety. I never had to leave her, so I never did. I mean, when we went to the stores, she came with. When we, basically, when we went out of the house, she almost always came with. Every now and then, I'd leave her at home, but it was very unlikely that she'd be at home when I was gone. So I understood why she had separation anxiety. It was rare for her to be separated. And again, she was another clingy dog. So I really do miss that, though. I mean, it is nice to have dogs that aren't like so clingy and dependent on you too, but I like the clingy ones. I like having a shadow that follows me around and makes me trip over them because they like to get under my feet. The always knowing they're right there for you. So right now, the puppy is sleeping. I just fed it though. So we got about half an hour or so till I have to go let it out, probably. That will depend on if it wakes up. If it wakes up, I do have to go let it out. Again, should be letting it out in about half an hour if it is awake for it. So I don't know. I did get a little bit more sleep last night, but I'm still tired. I had an appointment today, so I didn't have the ability to go back to bed. I really wanted to go back to bed, but I had to get up and go to my appointment. And then once I get up like that, I'm just not going back to sleep. So hopefully I get to go to sleep tonight and actually get a decent amount of sleep. I have a few other videos I want to try to edit. This one, hopefully I can try to edit sooner so I won't have the issue I had yesterday if it messes up. Again, my phone's been messing up though, and I don't know what could fix that. I mean, I can try to reset my phone. That's about all I can think of to try to fix it, because when I record a video, it freezes. Once I'm done with the video, it just like freezes on the recording screen and does not exit out of the video. I can't click anything on my screen. It just sits there. So it's not a good problem to have. Sometimes it finally closes the camera screen, other times it says it's not responding, and I'm afraid I'm gonna lose the video one of these times that happens. So far the video, even though it hasn't shown up as in my gallery on my phone, it has been saved as a partial on my phone, and I could recover it with my computer, but that's kind of scary. You never know if my video is going to be there or not. I really could use a new computer. I really could use a new phone, but who has that much money to buy a new phone? Those things are expensive. So, who knows how long it'll be before that happens, and hopefully this one holds out. So I kind of saw what was done on this from a distance when I sat it up on the shelf and walked away, and so far I like the way like this white outline goes along this leaf and stuff. It looks like it's going to turn out really nicely. Alright. I think this is the last 3-placer of 8 I'm gonna do, and then I gotta switch to another multi-placer. Again, I really do think it's slower doing it this way, but my wrist just complains way too much otherwise, and I don't know why. Just like a carpal tunnel thing or something, I guess. It's fun when your hobbies exacerbate your problems. But it seems like everything does. It's like, you're gonna play computer games. Well, that's not good for your wrist or your hands, but then nor is writing or anything. It's like, everything you do is, what is the word I'm looking for? It's always repetitive. It's always like the same motion over and over, which is what causes like arthritis and stuff like that. It seems like no matter what you do in life, you're doing something that is that. I don't know how you avoid that. That's fun though. Lately I feel like I've started getting some like arthritis in my hand or something. The best way I could describe it, I'm bad at describing the way something feels to me though, is it kind of feels like your skin is really dry, like that tight feeling. But if you put lotion or anything on your hands, it doesn't go away. It's like it's literally in the hand, not the skin, but it just kind of has that tight feeling. So that's the best way I can describe it, is I just feel like my skin is dry. Like if I put some lotion on it, it'd get better, but it doesn't. Because the skin isn't actually the problem. Alright, on to this 5-placer, I guess. So, again, I'm not really sure what all I want to talk about. I'm still honestly thinking of trying to listen to an episode of Mystery Theater with you guys. I think that, I mean, I would enjoy listening to it. I don't know what you guys think, but they are in fact public domain. It says that you can use it and adapt it and everything else without having any licensing, so I can easily put it in a video and it won't matter. Again, I don't think it matters either way because my videos aren't monetized, but there definitely shouldn't be an issue knowing that it is public domain. So I mean, how do you guys feel though about just sitting here and listening to a story and me not actually really talking? So you'd have the visual of me diamond painting, but the audio is just gonna be a story. Some ways I think that might be cool because we could have like a discussion about it afterwards. In other ways it's like, well, if you wanted to listen to that, you could just go listen to that. You're kind of watching me to listen to me, right? I don't know. So I'm a little of both minds of it. I figure I'm probably going to try an episode doing so. Maybe even later in this episode. We'll see what happens. But the thing is, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to kind of like play it with headsets or something for me to listen to it, and then put it in the video as like an overlay audio for you guys to listen to it, so it sounds still clear for you guys, because you guys hearing it come from like my computer speakers or something like that doesn't really lead to good sounding audio. It comes through kind of messed up. I would have to try to make sure my timing was pretty much on, so if I had a comment for you about what we were listening to, it would be accurate with where we are in the audio. So stuff might be a little out of sync unless I get the hang of it, and obviously trying it once is not going to be getting the hang of it. I kind of get the concept of, you know, doing something in the video that tells me when to hit play, and then from then on it's just, you know, go. You can't pause because then you got to try to reline stuff up. So I get the concept of it, and how closely I can, you know, work on that. But yeah, I don't know if any of you care about all that background stuff. It does take some of that to get some of this stuff to work correctly. So. And this is day 2 for me, by the way. I only worked on the painting that during that video with you guys. There was pieces that ended up getting cut out that you guys did miss of me working on the painting, because I did try listening to the audio and seeing how that sounded, and it didn't sound well at all, so I decided not to leave it in versus stripping the audio out and just kind of having blank space for a while. So that's kind of part of what happened in the video, as well as the saving issue and everything else. I am really done with summer. I know I've said it before, but I am really done with summer. I don't know when I'm gonna get a chance to edit them or how far behind I am on uploading them, but I finished opening some more paintings for my mom again, and now I just have the ones that she gave me to open. I don't really know exactly what she got me. I know some of them, but not all of them. And I'd like to see what they are, but at the same time, I want to make sure I get this done and edited, and I want to edit hers to upload, because I'm honestly thinking I'm going to be uploading 2 videos at a time for a bit, because not everybody wants to watch this, and I do already have the paintings I'm opening as well, so rather than just let those videos sit and kind of get old because I'm doing this, I'm going to upload them alongside uploading this. So anybody that likes watching both things will have extra content to watch, and anyone that only wants to watch this or that will have something to watch as well. And again, I'm not sure how long that's gonna go on for. It's not like I'm saying I want to upload 2 videos a day every day, but I'm calling this kind of separate from the uploads of the unboxing. I got the unboxings to do. They're done, or they're waiting to be done. They're waiting to be edited. They need to be uploaded in at least a semi-timely manner, in my opinion. I don't want to just be like, we do this for the next week, and then finally I will upload those videos, and they're all well over a week old at that point. I do normally double check the links to see if they're sold out or not if I have the links, so it's not too horrible of a deal. A lot of stuff is getting restocked now, so a lot of, if it is out of stock, it will be back at some point, but it just doesn't feel right to hang on to the video for a few weeks or a week plus. I really do think this is probably turning out pretty nicely though. And I'm sorry, I just keep trying to reposition the canvas just that tiny bit. It feels like it's still sliding even with these clips. I don't know if there's a way to get my painting to not move at all. And I'm kind of leaning it up a little bit like that because the way the light's hitting it and the angle I'm sitting at, it's a little hard to see some of these numbers in the top corner here. I swear I saw something. Yeah, right here. Saw something that needed a 3-placer. So it sounds like my mom did end up picking out a painting that she needs to change colors for, and she wants to do that, but when I saw her today, there was a lot going on and there was no time. So maybe that will still be happening in a bit. It just... Sorry. Notification for a YouTube video. So yeah, we were too busy that there wasn't the ability to get around to really doing more than discussing the fact that she did pick out a painting that needs some adjustment. Hi, kitty. Alright, so now I'm putting a glue dot in my little 2-placer right now. So that's what I was up to. Like I said, stuff has been rather uneventful, which is absolutely great, but also kind of leads to not having much to talk about. Again, I'd take it though. I don't need to have something to comment about. I mean, if it was good news, then, you know, maybe, but normally if there's something to comment about, it's not good news. So, the good news is not having anything to comment about, just a nice, normal day where I'm just hanging out and do what I always do. There's one that I could talk about since today I went shopping, needed to get some food. Basically had no food in the house, but even though we had basically no food in the house and I went shopping to get food, nothing looked good. There was literally nothing I could think of buying that I cared to buy. Does anybody else get that way? Do they get where they're just like tired of food in general? Like everything just seems like I've had it or I don't like it. I'm just not interested in cooking it. Just So you go to the grocery store and you end up coming home with like almost no food because nothing sounds good, and then later on you go to get something to eat and it's like, oh yeah, I didn't really buy anything because nothing sounded good. I'm hungry now, but there's nothing really to eat. Right. It's fun. It's annoying. It's like kind of start eating just because you need to eat, not because you want to eat, not because you're enjoying the food that you're eating. I don't know why, but it seems like my mom and I are both that way right now, actually. Nothing looks good to us, nothing sounds good, and so you go shopping and you're like, well, nothing looks interesting, but I'm gonna grab at least one thing so I know I have food for later tonight. And even though you expect you're only grabbing one thing, the bill's still ridiculous. Sadly, my mom had an issue recently with her refrigerator, and she had to get a new one and throw all of the food in her old one out. So when she went shopping today with me, she had to buy pretty much everything that you would normally have in your fridge, all from scratch. And holy crap, is stuff expensive. She spent over $100 just buying stuff like ketchup and A1 sauce and mayonnaise, mustard, Miracle Whip, just, like butter, cheese, the basics, the stuff that's probably in almost everybody's fridge at all times. I'm out of food, but hey, I can throw together a quick grilled cheese or, you know. It's so ridiculous how expensive stuff has gotten. Um, not, and again, I don't know if this sounds to somebody like, or is going to sound to somebody like I'm saying differently, but I strictly looked this up out of curiosity. There was no, nothing more to it than a curiosity. So, I always get the same amount of money for my birthday from my parents. They've always given me the same amount of money since I was a kid. And they still do. Obviously, they don't have to, but they do, and I appreciate it. I'm not at all gonna say, anything negative about the fact that they do. But for the fun of it, to know how much money has inflated, I looked up the amount they give me and then what it would equal in today's, money. So, it was kind of funny. The amount they give me, apparently today, they would technically have to give me double that amount for it to be the exact same amount that they used to give me. The prices have went up that much that it has doubled. What used to be $1 is now $2. Like, it's just crazy to think that prices do that. I mean, prices always do that. You have people that are like, I remember when I had penny candy, and then you have people that are like, I remember when I had quarter candy, and you have people that are like, I remember when I had dollars candy, and then now you're gonna have, I remember when dollar stores used to actually only be $1, right? Like, it's gonna happen. So it's just a thing of life that prices do that. But it seems like prices have went up more than pay or anything's went up. It seems like the affordability of living is just getting worse and worse. And what a fun conversation, right? I'm sure that's a conversation nobody cares to actually talk about. So, we'll get off of that conversation and get on to something else. I watched another YouTuber's video today. She ordered custom paintings, and the price actually sounded pretty decent compared to what I was finding for custom paintings. So I have a few paintings that I want to turn into diamond paintings, and I'm thinking maybe it's a company I could try as well to see how that works. I'm not sure. I'm always leery of the custom paintings, because if they look bad, you're just kind of screwed, aren't you? They don't have like a refund or will redo it for you or something. And if they do, then they're one of the really expensive companies. And custom painting is going to be more expensive than a normal painting. I get that. But when a custom painting is like 3 times this painting, and it's like, I want it, but do I want it that badly to spend that much money on it? and then have it not turn out well. It's a possibility. It's something I've wanted to do and just like kind of been swayed away from because of those issues. But I gotta look into it better. But the company she used and the fact that paintings looked like they did, and I'm tempted to give it a shot. So on another fun note, and by fun I don't really mean fun, I got a new blender because I wanted to make smoothies since it's getting hot and smoothies are nice and cool, and I've been without a blender for a while. So I got another blender, and I didn't get a really expensive one, but I didn't buy the cheapest one either, and it's not working well enough. I mean, I guess I don't know, I put stuff in it doesn't like or something. I'm just trying to make a smoothie. It's frozen fruit and yogurt and milk, right? But it doesn't want to blend it up, and it seems like it's taking forever, and I gotta stop it and mix stuff, and then I started smelling the motor burning. It's like, really? I literally just got it and it's already burning the motor out trying to do this? I need to just wait and get a more expensive blender. I mean, that's about all there is to it. Is a cheaper blender is not gonna handle what I want. So that's fun. I'm gonna have to return that, because if it already smells like the motor's burning out and it's only the second time I've used it, it's not gonna have a long enough life, right? I mean, it seems like electronics nowadays are like that too, though. I still have an older, some older electronics, and they still work, but all the like newer ones just wanna crap out from the time you buy them, basically. I don't know why we as a society have got into the place where we don't care to fix stuff. We don't care to make stuff fixable. We just want quick, easy, oh, it's broken, I'm gonna buy it again. So we are actually sacrificing quality, and we're okay with sacrificing quality enough so that companies have stopped making quality. Everything is made disposable anymore, and then we complain about like how much garbage we're producing. Well, yeah, when you make it cheaper to buy a new printer than to buy ink for your printer, I'm gonna buy a new printer and throw the old one out to save some money. It sucks that is the way of things. And of course, it's gotten that way, and it's been a while that way. I don't know if really there's much you could do to change it back. I mean, if you want to buy a good quality product, I'm sure there's still a few sellers that are kind of like crazy price because they, specialize in that. But we're never going to get to a place where we'll have quality products that are mass produced, because we've let them get away with the crap that they've got away with for so long that it's like, oh, it's not working this time, give it a second and try again. And that's just okay with us. We're just, cool with it. Why are we cool with it? It's like if you're into video games, all the bugs in some games, and they just like, yeah, it's a game bug, big deal. And it's like, how did they get away with releasing a game with so many bugs and people just say, yeah, it has some bugs, but it's a good game? It's like, when did it go to the fact that we got so used to those bugs there that we just kind of brush them off as a fact that they are going to exist, and that we just have to put up with them or ignore them? feel like that hasn't always been that way. And I think that's good on that topic, too. I don't know if you guys care to hear, those topics, or if you care to hear something more upbeat or whatever. I mean, life is not rainbows and butterflies, and I'm not gonna act like life is rainbows and butterflies. So, if the conversations I end up having are kind of boo, then that's what they are. I mean, everything is both white and black. Everything is somewhere in a scale, white, black, and gray, right? There has to be good to the bad. There has to be bad to the good. The two do not live without each other. You wouldn't know what happy is if you didn't know what sad was. So, because of that, there is going to be the good stuff and the bad stuff. And people shy away from talking about one or the other. And when they try to talk about one, it's like, ooh, pity me, pity party. Sometimes when they talk about the other, it's like, ooh, praise me. It's like, you know what? There's good and bad, and I don't need you to pity me for the bad, and I don't need you to praise me for the good. It's life. It happens. It's both good and sucks. I'm going to go ahead and do the ones now, since we get done with that. Video says it's about 37 minutes. Pup is still fully dead though, so we're gonna keep going. You may hear the echo tell me the reminder to let the dog out. I'm really bad with time. I have never been able to keep track of time. Like, ask me what day it is and, I won't know. So, I tend to set, there it is.
Here is your reminder. Copy.
So, my reminder, Poppy, not Puppy. Again, electronics that don't work quite right. So, it's kind of ironic that I was just talking about how I'm not good at time, so I set a reminder to remind me when it was time. And lo and behold, the reminder goes off. Okay, what did I do here? Oh. I pasted one too many drills. I thought that was a 6 spot and it was only 5. Okay. But like I was saying, I had that reminder set, but so far it looks like the pup's still playing dead, so I just gotta watch for movement now. Whenever it moves, it will be time to either pause the video or stop the video altogether. So, I know I could have had it done, like, long ago by now, and that part of it kind of sucks, but with the lack of sleep and the extra having to get up and monitor movements and stuff, I haven't actually done any painting other than what you guys have seen with this canvas earlier, so my lady is still not finished, and there's only like 4 colors left. It's at that spot where it's like, just sit down and power through it, but I got other stuff to do, so I can't, and you just kind of know you could easily get it done if you just had a little bit of time to sit there and do it. So, yeah. I will hopefully get her a little bit better at it and get to finishing her and showing you guys what she looks like done. I just have had a lot of nothing. It's those things where, you know, you're outside, then you're back inside, then you're outside and you're back inside so much that the day just kind of blows by and you don't even realize you've done anything. There's like nothing's happened in the day, but it's gone. It's kind of in those days. It's like, so what'd you do? Nothing. And it's like, well, okay, technically I pulled weeds. Technically I took the animals out X amount of time and I went for a walk, but it doesn't really feel like I did anything at all. It feels like nothing was accomplished. So that's kind of where I am with my days right now. So I just feel like I haven't really accomplished anything. I feel like everything's just, you know, these tiny little tasks, and next thing you know, the day's over and you feel like you haven't really did anything. And while you technically did accomplish some things, it's like, yeah, well, they had to get done and they really weren't anything that I'd consider anything. It's just life, you know? It's not like, ooh, I had me time, or ooh, I had, you know, this or that to do. It's just, you know, you turn off your brain and just go with it, get it done. Happy. It did suck though, because I wanted to get a lot more cleaning done, and I wanted to do so before garbage day so I could throw everything out and not have to have a bunch of stuff sitting by the garbage can for multiple days for wild animals to possibly dig in or anything else. And because I was so tired and because I was having to watch the puppy so closely, I didn't end up getting as much cleaned as I wanted to clean. So now I either got to do that and have too much garbage that I don't have enough garbage cans for, or I got to put it off until next week and just, you know, leave stuff sit. And what I'm talking about is kind of like, you know, old food containers that need to be thrown out and boxes that need to be broke down. So stuff like that. Just stupid little things that are not really anything but do add up to something and make a lot of garbage, even though there's not much to it. It's surprising when you're trying to throw out, you know, a cardboard box, how much of a garbage bag you could actually fill with one stupid cardboard box. And I know there's other ways to deal with cardboard boxes and a lot of other garbage, but where I live, they don't have any recycling. I'd have to try to go out and find some myself, and I cannot just like burn the garbage or anything. So best thing I've found for me is to rip the box up and shove it in a garbage bag. I don't know what else I should do. And I try to reuse some pieces. Like, I think most of you probably know I've said I've had a bird, and sorry about the bird in the background and stuff like that. So if the cardboard is clean, or hopefully clean, like, you never really know what's got on a box that was shipped, right? But even if you were to go to the store and buy a fresh box, you don't know what has touched it or anything else. So you're always kind of slightly running a risk that there was something contaminated on the box, and that sucks. But anyway, if the box seems like it should be okay, I do tend to try to cut pieces up to give to the bird to chew. But I don't like giving him the pieces with print on it or pieces that have had tape on it or look dirty or anything like that. But he will help me shred some of the cardboard. Although that makes it take longer technically, because now instead of just ripping it up, I'm cutting around certain things, and then once I get that cut out, I'm kind of cutting the cardboard into different types of shapes and stuff, and then I'm cutting holes in the cardboard so I can put it on a chain and hang it up in the cage. So that ends up actually taking quite a bit of time to accomplish, but it's a free toy for him, or as free as your time costs, because like obviously if you could be doing something better with your time, maybe it's cheaper for you to buy a toy than to spend the time making the toy. Time is a very important commodity to people. Me personally, time isn't that important, but I do understand how some people's time is money, and I'd make more money doing something else than I would making it, so I'll pay the ridiculous price to buy it so I can make the money, because that actually works out in my benefit. I do understand that area too. This conversation, like all of them on this video, is very much just the drones of everyday life, isn't it? That's all good anyway. I mean, it's something that anybody that is responsible about anything has to deal with, so is it something they want to hear about because they have to deal with? Not really, probably, but it is what it is. We could go back to part of what we were talking about last video with the music. I don't know if I found it before that video or after, but Spotify now has like its own AI DJ thing. Does anybody have Spotify? Has anybody tried that? It's kind of entertaining to me. It's like your own personal radio station without commercials or something like that is kind of what they, are trying to advertise it as. And it's supposed to play music that are songs from like your favorites, or songs like something from your favorites that you maybe haven't listened to before or something. I haven't listened to it enough to have it play any songs I haven't heard before for me, so I don't know if it actually does that, but it says it does. My mom listens to it whenever she's in the car. She has her phone connected to the car radio and listens to Spotify, and she says it's pretty much just played songs that she likes, so it doesn't really sound like it does branch out into trying to get new things you'll like as much, but I don't know. It would be kind of interesting if it did have some nice new suggestions, but it is kind of interesting how it comes up with like random categories. It's like, alright, so we'll listen to just like, this because it's something you've listened to recently. We'll listen to this because it's something you haven't listened to in a while, but you used to listen to a lot. And then there's others like, how about some like party music or something? And it just kind of goes to like, what would you call it, a subgenre of music, or songs that kind of fit a theme. God, this glue is in need of some dulling, can you tell? I find it entertaining anyway, though, because I am bad with making decisions. So what music do I want to listen to? Yeah, let's put the DJ on and let him decide. It's like Netflix used to have that thing where you could kind of figure out what movie or series to watch. I forgot its name now. It used to have a name and they got rid of it, and I hated that they got rid of it because so much of what I used to watch on Netflix was through that suggestion, just because it was so easy to be like, I want this genre of movie, and then it's like, well, how about these? And you're like, well, I've seen that one and I haven't seen that one. Cool. And you just kind of click on it and let it play. It's just like, cool, it's something I haven't seen. That's all I need to know. I really do miss that. I wish they didn't take it away. I don't care if it was just working off of what they were pushing or if it was working off of what was popular or, you know, what you rated highly, or if it really cared what you've watched in the past or rated. It was an easy way to have it pick a show of a genre you were interested in, and you didn't really have to read through any titles or anything like that. It's just like, hey, here's your pick. Cool, throw it on. So, it sucks that they did away with that. I don't understand why they did away with it. I'm guessing there was background reasons to it. It's not just like just cuz, right? But it seemed like a lot of people hated that they got rid of it. So why did they get rid of it? Was it too hard to maintain? Was like, I don't know. There was a new one though, like IMDb has or something like that now, where you can kind of like say you want to watch a movie and it'll like tell you, do you want like award winning or like popular among fans? Do you want action or drama or suspense? And you can kind of just like pick a few categories, and then it'll give you like a list of movies that fit that category. And even if you have marked some as watched or rated them as watched on there, they'll still come up in that list though. And even if you tell it you only want it to use services you have access to, like Netflix or Hulu or Disney or Pixar or whatever you subscribe to, it still shows you ones that are not free to you. It still shows you ones that are from places you don't subscribe to. So it doesn't work that great, because normally all of the shows that it ends up coming up with I've already seen, and if I haven't seen them, I can't watch them because they're on one of the services I don't have access to, even though I told it to only show me stuff that I have access to. So it still seems like it has its bugs that need to be fixed, and just doesn't work as well as the quick little simple one Netflix had in it. And of course, the voice and stuff was entertaining too, the way it, you know, talked to you. So I wish one of the companies would bring something like that back. And we are now done with ones. I'm going to go ahead and do 4. Ow. My wrist is starting to hurt. Puppy's still dead. It's laying on the cot with its tongue kind of sticking out of its mouth. Cute and derpy. Other dogs are all playing dead too. It's so quiet, other than AC going at the cage. But a bird is rarely ever quiet. So the video says that it's right around an hour. Again, I don't know how much of it was blank space that I have to cut out. Not much though. I have not actually had to get up and go do anything this time. The animals have all been asleep through this whole part, and maybe you could consider that a jinx, me saying that, but I'm just waiting for it to happen. I know it's going to happen at any moment. So when it happens, it's not going to be like a, I mentioned it, now it's happening. It's just going to be a, oh, finally. So, you believe in jinxing something because you said it hasn't happened and then it happens. In this case, it's an inevitability, and sooner or later it's going to happen. If it happens sooner, I don't think it's just because I talked about it. I think it's just because it's past time. It's always nice when something like that is the case. But we're going in on the Force, which is kind of like a blue-gray. I mean, maybe this is a color that some people would be interested in changing out and not have like blue-gray colored ears. But I don't tend to change colors out on my diamond paintings. My mom tends to change colors out on almost every one of her diamond paintings. But I actually don't tend to change colors out on my diamond paintings. I want to see what they printed. It's kind of the best way to put it, I guess. I want to see what they printed. I want to see if that green shadow makes sense as a green shadow, if that just pulls the image together even though it feels like it wouldn't. So I don't tend to adjust colors in paintings. I've helped her pick out colors for paintings and suggested where to go with colors to her before, so I'm sure I could, but to me it feels a lot different telling her suggestions than it does actually having to pick through it myself. So also with the 30 by 40, if I decide I didn't like this color, I would honestly just do the painting again with the different color and change it that time if it was a painting I liked enough to. But since I'm not really doing this to display my paintings, it doesn't really matter all too much. If it's a color I don't like in an area, it's just like, well, that's that. I feel like taking a nap too. Sheesh. But of course, because I'm doing this and they're napping now and their nap should be over at any point, once they wake up, I'm not going to be able to take a nap, and I'm going to, I'm going to lose my chance to take a nap, and that's okay. Just always seems to work out that I'm not really tired when they're napping, and then they nap, and so they're awake when I'm finally ready to sleep. I was having so much trouble this morning staying awake. I wanted to go to bed so bad. Like I said, I had a doctor's appointment though, so I didn't really have much say in it. But I was having so much trouble staying awake. I was like literally sitting here looking at my phone, falling asleep. Just wanted to go back to sleep, and then because I had the appointment I couldn't, and then being out of the house and running around doing stuff, I kind of finally woke up, and now that I'm sitting here diamond painting and it's been hours, the tiredness has finally started to creep back in. So that, however, doesn't mean much of anything. It's still probably gonna be hours till I do end up deciding to go to bed. I'm sorry if you hear me yawning. I just cannot help it right now. I know this is kind of like a blue-gray, but it doesn't look bad. So now, according to the camera, we're about an hour in. And I don't want to make it go too much longer because that last video had so much trouble, and part of it I think was the size of it. It was somewhere around 16 gig or something for the one video, and like I said, the phone didn't want to save it correctly. The editing software didn't want to finish saving it correctly. It was annoying to deal with, and I stayed up longer than I wanted to trying to get it to work, and I just had to go to bed and leave it processing and hope it didn't fail again. And lucky, it didn't fail again. But then when I woke up, it was already around the time I normally would upload my video, and I had to upload it to YouTube and wait for that to go through, and so that made it a few hours late waiting for it to process. And then I accidentally hit private instead of public, and I thought I had released it a few hours before I did end up releasing it because of that little hiccup. So yeah, the first part of this had its issues, and I'm hoping that this part doesn't. The drill fell off. I really would like to get this area done. It might be better off for me to cut the video up and just like upload 2 videos, or at least let the phone save it as 2 videos, try putting the 2 videos together in the editing software and see how that works. If not, I could upload part 1 and part 2. But I think because of the issues I'm having, I'm kind of gonna want to stay under an hour for videos. I know I'm going over right now, but I think it's probably a better idea to stay under an hour for videos, which sucks because like I said, I'm not done doing my painting. So alright, that's all of our floors done. Maybe I am done. Maybe the time and that I am done. There's a puppy awake. Oh, nope. Just woke up to do a little scratch, yawn, and reposition. Okay. Sorry if any of you don't care to hear about the puppy. I'm not trying to give you play updates. I'm just making sure I'm aware of what's going on. Oop. Just rolled off of the cot and it's just like, oh, well, I'm here now. I'm just gonna go back to sleep here then. It's crazy. D's, 6s, or 7s? I guess the D's stand out a little bit more than the 6s or 7s, but all 3 of those seem like they meshed together. So I think the next one I'm going to work on is the D's, but I do actually think because this is around an hour, I am going to cut it here because the phone is having so much trouble saving the videos and freezing like it's doing while trying to save it. It's going to be a while till I can film another one, so I will get back to this later today, or this will be it for today, and I will work on the D's tomorrow. Again, didn't get much of anything done, I feel like, but it still took me this long to do so, and I'm kind of working with limitations I didn't really expect to be working with. So hopefully you guys had fun with your painting. I noticed the little one that I missed. Oh, and one here too. Anyway, hopefully you guys had fun with your painting, and hopefully even though the conversation wasn't really an enjoyable one, it was still something to entertain you. And I will record another one of these when I get the chance. But I do gotta edit a few as well. And it is already later in the day, so we'll just see how everything goes. Like I said, not good at time, not going to try to give myself like really strict time limits or anything. And my row of glue dots came out of the box and is sticking to stuff. Yay. Alright, so I said it before, but anyway. Hopefully everybody had a nice day, had a nice night, found this entertaining, and is gonna go on with what they're doing. And I will make another video for you guys soon.